probably on the verge of leaving Islam, because someone worshipping other than Allah cannot remain within the boundaries of Islam. The sick heart, which is what most of us probably are suffering from. This is the heart which, with life in it, as well as illness. The former sustains it at one moment, the latter at another, and it follows whichever one of the two manages to dominate. It has love for Allah, faith in Him, sincerity towards Him, and reliance upon Him. And these are what gives it life. These are what give it life. It also has craving for lust and pleasure, and prefers them and strives to experience them. It is full of self-admiration. Somebody says, you know, I'm all that, which can lead to its own destruction. It listens to two callers, one calling it to Allah and His Prophet ﷺ and the hereafter, and the other calling it to the fleeting pleasures of the world. It responds to whichever one of the two happens to have most influence over it at the time. So we're going like this, in the balance. One day you're alright, the next day you're not alright. One day you are doing the salah right, you're obeying Allah and His Messenger, following the sunnah. The next day we go back to leaving things alone and going back to our old ways. Inconsistency. But the problem with that is that this is very similar to gambling. And gambling is haram in Islam. Yani you play lottery. If you get the number, if it strikes, then you become a millionaire. Otherwise you lose your money. Gambling. You can't gamble with that kind of stuff. I mean, do you know how you will end? What if Allah decrees that you end while your iman is low, and you are in a state of the sick heart, following and leading more towards the caller of the dunya rather than the hereafter? Then what one will do? What would be the consequences from that moment on? Don't ask. That requires a lecture of its own, which we will deal with inshallah, concerning what will happen after one of us departs from this life.